Now we're live streaming this.
Okay.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Course in Miracles, followed by Chanting for Change. I'm Teri Angel. I'm here with my co-host, Karen Palmer. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
And we have a beautiful group in here to discuss this lesson tonight. Christine, Goldie, Auntie Jean, Charlie, Sharon. Welcome, everyone. What a great group tonight. And what a what a lesson we're going to dive into. So for those finding us online, we are so happy that you're joining in with us as well. And hopefully we will figure this one out tonight. So Karen, please get us started in that beautiful way that you always do.
Okay, so this is January 22nd. This is our lesson, and this is from Holy Shift. So I encourage everyone and invite everyone to just take a moment to just rest and trust and listen and let the words just wash over you. Let go of all judgments and opinions and any ideas, any concepts, and just be completely open to receive this message, how love would have you hear it. You will identify with what you think will make you safe. Whatever it may be, you will believe that it is one with you. Your safety lies in truth and not in lies. Love is your safety. Fear does not exist. Identify with love and you are safe. Identify with love and you are home. Identify with love and find yourself. So just resting in that lesson, it really feels like that absolute safety, that absolute security, and just knowing that love is the answer to knowing that absolute security. And I love how it says, identify as love, because so many of us do identify as a human, as a person. But when we identify as love, we have that opportunity to know that we're safe, that we're home, and that we're our true self.
I love that too, Karen. And I love how that just goes right into, I choose to see things differently. You know, that yesterday doing that, I choose to see things differently really helped me a lot in what I'm going through. You know, coming upon the next phase of whatever that looks like for me on my journey. And so I just went back into identifying with love, just being love and allowing love to guide. So thank you for that reading today. Let's just have a moment of sharing if anyone wants to share how you did with the lesson, and then we'll go right into day 22's lesson, which is the one that I'm struggling with right now. So anyone have any input? Sharon?
I loved this lesson. I know the past couple of days I've been not happy. Oh, yay, Christine. I've been not happy with the way the words were. They kind of made me uncomfortable, but this one I just settled right in. I think I talked a little bit that it feels like the practice that I'm doing of no judgment, just love, where it's mental gymnastics to see something. I immediately align it with how it makes me feel. And if I feel jagged in any kind of way, I'm quick to say, I am determined to see differently. And I almost didn't need the words as much because I'm so determined that it just happens quickly. And that feels good because sometimes the word love gets me a little tripped up. So I just align love with this one because I go from what I see makes me feel uncomfortable or angry or confused or mad. And then when I want to see differently, I feel at peace. So love equals at peace.
That love feels at peace.
Yes, and I agree with you 100%. And I watched my whole family, and they be supporting me always where my trouble. So thank you.
Oh, Christine, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Feels good to be supported, doesn't it?
Yeah. With me, it was difficult trying to, a lot of them situations I avoided or, didn't want to bring up the people or the situations. I sort of blocked them out of my mind and just bringing them up and letting them go felt, felt good. And, it was hard at first, I mean, it was easy knowing the situations and the people, but trying to see it differently, it was a work, yeah. But I did it,
Good, Charlie.
yeah.
It was interesting. You said something yesterday that really hit home with me. Hadn't thought about it, but that even if you get angry a little bit, that's no different than having a full out blowout. You still, and it's really strange because that day I've been making Valentine cards. Those who know me know I do this. And Ron was sitting there watching me. He's my husband, Goldie. And I was putting decorations on the cards, and I had put X's and O's, on this one card. And he says, "Who are you putting X's and O's on that card for?" I said, "Well, I don't know. One of the sisters, one of the friends, I don't know." "Well, you can't put X's on O's." I says, "Well, it's a standard Valentine thing, He says, "I wouldn't put X's on O's on anything that wasn't for you." And I got so angry. Not on the outside. I mean, all I did was take the X's and O's off the card and put them aside. But inside, I was so angry. And after you all said that, I was like, "What? That angry, you know?" So I did a lot of thinking today about changing my thinking about what happened, you know. And it really was kind of interesting to me. You know, I'm not going to be able to change Ron. He can only change himself, but it was interesting, my reaction and why I reacted that way. So I went back through a lot of different things then the rest of the day and looked at them differently and tried to analyze their point of view, and why my reaction was in a way negative, you know. So
Yeah.
so it's been really interesting. I kind of enjoyed this, you know. So I'm learning about this inner anchor thing.
You, you, you have to tell him he gets the bigger X's and O's.
I understand, Jean, and it is a learning process. And you know, you've really come a long way just this past year, even in your spiritual growth. So I feel like this is just propelling you even higher in that, to now look at every incident that comes up. And yeah, how would love how me respond, and how did I respond and why? So I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments on this lesson? I choose to see things differently. It's a commitment. You know, we can either stay in the same old, what is that saying? Keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And yeah, we're going to be stayed in that stuck energy if we just keep doing the same thing and not looking at other options and see that there are other ways of seeing the world. So that's my commitment, is to see things differently. So lesson 22. I'm sorry, Goldie, did you have any input, hon?
No, I'm just enjoying the dialogue.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I was interested in, I can't remember your name with the lovely greenery around you.
Oh, Jean.
Thank you.
Jean.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah, you know, it's so difficult in this world to, when someone makes you angry, to realize what's causing the anger. It's not that person, it's actually our thoughts about what they're doing or saying. But you know, it's to take responsibility for what we're feeling and to realize that we are far too tolerant of mind wandering. And when our mind starts to wander to the other person being the cause of what's happening in my own mind, you know, the Course is so helpful in that way. And I'm happy to be here too with you guys.
Good.
Have you been studying the Course long, Goldie?
About 12 years now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if you, well, it's made a huge difference in my life. Yeah. Because, you know, when you realize how powerful you are to control your thoughts and how creative thoughts are, it's an amazing realization. And it, you know, the power to change your life resides right here.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, so carry on. And thank you for the opportunity to comment.
So welcome. This is the open forum that we do when we come together every night, and then we present the next lesson. We have someone else that came in. Evan, welcome to you. Oh, it changed to JJ. Welcome.
So anyway, and another thing that's been really helpful for me, thank you, Goldie, for that. That's a beautiful way to enjoy our insights together and see how we can expand each other's thoughts. I love that. That's for me, I can only speak for myself, but I truly believe that what has given me the most freedom is to realize that whenever somebody pushes my buttons or upsets me in any tiny, even little way, I am using them as a distraction from my, and I am abandoning myself. I am abandoning my true self, and I am allowing that moment for that person to be a distraction from the love.
Mm.
And it's an instant, now it's starting to be an instant thing for me. As soon as it happens, I go, nope, no, no. No distractions, no delusions, no more duality, none of it. I'm not having it. I'm not part of it. And I'm just not doing it anymore. And the second that it comes up, I'm like grateful because I can feel it coming up and I can say, nope, that's a distraction from the love. You're
Not
a
easier.
from the love.
Yeah.
And
It's not-
if I'm going to choose to use you as a distraction, then I'm going to end up hurting myself.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
So that's just been really helpful to me for the, just as that lesson, especially. I am determined to see everything and everyone differently. That's what I say. That lesson to me is everything and everyone differently.
I've got something to show you, if I might, just for a sec. Look what I have written on my wall. Can you see that?
Come a little closer.
I can't see what it says.
Oh, it says our lesson.
It's one of the
I am
lessons.
determined to see.
Isn't that a funny thing?
Oh, I love that.
It's beautiful.
The
It's
great
beautiful.
reminder.
Yeah, when you write it on the wall, sometimes you can't avoid it. But you can't write them all on the wall.
And how divine that you're here today when that's what's on your wall.
Yeah.
Where else would I be, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
Perfect.
Okay, so let's get into lesson 22. Wow, I don't know, you guys. I was reading Pam's comments. Pam Grout has a book called The Course in Miracles Experiment. And, she put it a little more clearly for me, but I'm really struggling. She says, at first, this sounds pretty harsh for us to say what I see as a form of vengeance. But I think we have to figure out, what does that word mean? I think that's it. Because with any word, we're all going to have an energy attached to it of what it means to us. So, Karen, I don't know how you did with this lesson, but I think this is going to be one of our harder ones, I think.
Yeah. Did you share what was in the Course Made Simple?
Okay, so in the insight one, it's good because it says it's very helpful when Jesus reveals the unconscious motivation for making up this world of separation, of separate bodies with separate minds. In this lesson, Jesus is helping me understand that this whole world I see as outside of me is really a projection of the conflict that is coming from my mind. And I think that's where the vengeance part comes in.
Yeah.
And it says, Jesus is helping me to understand that this world I think of is outside us. That the projection shows up as a world of conflict that appears to be outside my mind because I feel guilt for this desire for individuality. I do not want to acknowledge this wish to see separation and push these thoughts of conflict down to the unconscious realms. So I think this is all about the struggle that we have in seeing us in a body, individual, unique, but trying to figure out, okay, how is this related to the oneness that we're all one? So to me, I think this is where we're starting to look at duality, and we're starting to look at what is this world, and how do I show up in this world? What's my part? That's what I'm seeing with this lesson. So I may have a different view than you, Karen, I don't know, or anybody else, but that's from what I can see, just trying to figure out, what does this mean? That what I see is a form of vengeance. I just had a real hard time with that word. Sharon, please.
Yeah, I just looked up the word, and the definition on the internet says vengeance is a noun, means punishment inflicted or retribution exacted for an injury or wrong. And as you were talking, Teri, and when Karen started the lesson tonight about always being in love, it's like, if you're unaware that love is the home or the safe place or the place where we all are, and you're seeing things outside of that, then it could be exacting this retribution for not being what you naturally are. And I just heard that in my head today as you were reading it. So that, because all day when I saw what was next, I'm like, oh, vengeance? How does that work? But seeing it that way, that we unconsciously are vengeful at what we see and live and experience because it's not where we're meant to be. I know that there's a missing little sentence in there somewhere. I felt it that I didn't get to, but it's like we are mad that we're seeing all these things that make us feel annoyed and frustrated and angry, because our natural sense is not to see that. Yeah, I know. I feel the same way, Jean.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where the vengeance comes in on that. I understand what you said perfectly, but where does the because to me, the vengeance, you're taking action against something or someone in retribution, like you said from the definition. And I don't know. I think one thing that kind of struck me is, it seems like you're doing it to yourself.
Right.
You know, that it's, and vengeance is almost something that you do outside of yourself.
Right.
Doing something to yourself is self-abuse. It's what people do who cut themselves and hurt themselves, that they're in so much pain that they have to do that. So I just have all these crazy thoughts, and I'm trying to make it all come together to what
Well, remember in the lesson for 13 where it said that we're in competition with God, that we have made everything an idol to be a substitution for God, and that we have this unaware guilt that we carry with us. So as I was saying before, I forgive myself for being unaware of the guilt that I'm trying to hide in another person. I forgive myself for using my dog for a projection of fear and doubt. I forgive myself for using these different techniques to be in competition, and to use a substitution for perfect love, to pick out certain people to be special. Certain people are special to me. Certain animals are more special. So this person is more special. So that's, to me, is like what it's talking about when it's saying the vengeance, because we're kind of hiding from source. We're kind of hiding from love. when we don't feel that we are our natural self or our natural state, like what Sharon was saying. When we're not being our natural state, we're kind of waiting for the next shoe to fall. We're like kind of seeing where am I going to be punished? How am I going to be punished? How's this gonna, who's going to get me?
And so let me get you first, right?
Yeah, who's going to get me? And let me tell you about this first, so that so that I'm defended, So let's go into the lesson and let's see if we can kind of unpack it together as we go through the words. And remember, all words are just symbols. So whatever is setting off in us with a word is a gift for us to unwrap. So let's see how we unwrap this. What I see is a form of vengeance. Today's idea accurately describes the way anyone who holds attack thoughts in his mind must see the world. Having projected his anger onto the world, he sees vengeance about to strike at him. His own attack is thus perceived as self-defense. This becomes an increasingly vicious circle until he is willing to change how he sees. Otherwise, thoughts of attack and counterattack will preoccupy him and people, his entire world. What peace of mind is possible then? It is from this salvage fantasy that you want to escape. Is it not your joyous news to hear that it's not real? Is it not happy discovery to find that you can escape? That you made what you would destroy? Everything that you hate and would attack and kill? All that you fear? It doesn't exist. Look at the world about you at least 5 times today, for at least a minute each time, as your eyes move slowly from one object to another, from one body to another, and say to yourself, I see only the perishable. I see nothing that will last. What I see is not real. What I see is a form of vengeance. At the end of each practice period, ask yourself, is this the world I really want to see? The answer is surely obvious now. Well, that'll be a fun one to discuss tomorrow.
And I love the last paragraph.
So tomorrow, take a couple, those 5 little moments and just be gentle with these lessons. Be gentle with yourself and remember that the words are just symbols.
Could you just repeat that again, Karen? Because I was
The last part?
Where you said the objects and perishables is not real. The whole.
So it says, look about the world at least 5 times today,
Right.
or at least a minute each time. As your eyes move slowly from one object to another, from one body to another, say to yourself, I see only the perishable. I see nothing that will last. What I see is not real. What I see is a form of vengeance. And at the end of each practice period, ask yourself, is this the world I really want to see?
And I want to read this paragraph, the insights. God wants us to be happy. He created us to be happy. Yet we surround ourselves with so many things to take care of to convince ourselves that our lives seem real. All these things distract us from the reality of what we are, yet we revel in them. We prize them. These things are projections of my fear that I won't have enough or that I won't be comfortable. They are projections of my fear that my true self is not real, that God may be there for others, but not for me. I see my fear in all that is around me. Do I want to live in a world of fear? This is not how I was created to exist. If I let go of my ego vision and allow Holy Spirit to show me what is real, I can be happy. I can live as I was created to exist because I see fear is not real. Only love is real. In love, I am happy, for I am truly me. And I think that's how we can view this and let go of those illusions and those things that are trying to show us something different than what we know in our hearts to be real, which is love. Yeah, and Suzanne says Pam Grout explains it well. Yeah, it's a really good chapter in Pam's where she's saying basically that same thing, to celebrate the joy of love, because that's the only thing that's real. So I'm becoming a little bit more comfortable with this now. Is this the world I really want to see? I think that's the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I surrender this thought? Can I surrender this? Because really anything that upsets us, all we're being asked to do when anything upsets us is to give it to spirit and to let spirit show us what to do next. Like that's all that's being asked.
Yeah.
Sharon?
Oh, I was just wondering if, and I don't want to put you on the spot, Goldie, but if after the years that you've been reading this particular one, did you have any reaction when you first read Vengeance, or any thoughts for us?
Well, thank you for the opportunity to comment on it. It's the first 50 lessons or so they're a way of changing the way you think. And it's Jesus here. The exercises in here are important, and it's important not to overanalyze them. It's the way he's bringing this forth is to train your mind to think differently. And the objective is peace of mind. So here, when I read this lesson, vengeance to me, I always think of revenge as justification for what I'm doing. And I think it's like the perception of self-defense. Like it's fine for me to attack because I've been attacked and I'm just acting in self-defense. But if you see, the exercise is you to look around the room, and it's important to do this and do it with an open mind. You look around the room 5 times today for at least a minute each time. And you just move your eyes slowly in a meditative way. And you ask yourself, and you say, I see only the perishable. I see nothing that will last. What I see is not real. What I see is a form of vengeance. I see vengeance coming to me, so then I'm free to attack. So if you look around and if you apply the former lessons, nothing that I see is real. So there can be no attack towards me. So any revenge is unjustified. That's how I see this lesson. And it's not important to understand these lessons. I mean, it's just important to open yourself fully to the Holy Spirit and to Jesus's guidance. And for me, I keep myself open, and I repeat the instructions for looking around the room, and let whatever is supposed to come, because of my own, I have no idea. But with the Holy Spirit's guidance, that's what this is for. So I hope that helped a little bit, but
it's so helpful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you, Goldie.
Thank you for your insight. It was very helpful.
Really did help. And it's something, it happened today. This is going to sound silly that it fits in here, but it does. It does. I think I was making dinner and I had to open the carrots and he had one of those clippies on the end of the bag that they're not a twist tie. They're like that plastic thing with a hole in it. And you got to stick it, and I'm struggling with it because of my arthritis. And I hate these things. Who would invent? And I'm thinking now that was the kind of the vengeance I was putting out.
Mhm.
And I even stopped and said to myself, now, why did I say that? Silly thing to put energy into that, someone obviously thought it was a good thing to hold these bags together. And I got to thinking, all these petty things that we say sometimes, I hate this and I hate that. And what's that all about? How silly is that to say that you hate something just because it's doing its job and you're not doing it right yourself or whatever. So that I know it sounds crazy, but you actually, Goldie, gave me answers to that with your comment that I can see now where I do put out this vengeance. And it's not real. It's ridiculous. It's silly. And here I am wasting any kind of energy instead of just being in love on silly things like that.
Yeah.
Insight. That's what it's all about. And awareness, right?
Yes.
But keep in mind that the
Gentleness,
first number
just
of
being gentle with
lessons,
yourself about what you're feeling, everything you're feeling, just being gentle about it and reminding yourself
Yeah.
it's not real, only love is real. It's not real, only love is real. It's not real, only love is real.
Goldie, you had a statement?
when you go through these lessons, you keeping yourself open is important, because this is so contrary to the way the world normally thinks and operates. And within each lesson, I mean, your mind is very mysterious in the way it operates. And if you read and practice, habit is an amazing thing. The Holy Spirit will immerse itself into your mind and guide you along these lessons. And even if you might think that you can't understand what's being said, your subconscious mind is absorbing it, and Jesus is leading you by the hand through each of them. So don't worry if you understand or not. Just let him guide you, and he will. Yeah,
Absolutely. And I keep going back to Pam Grout. We're not here to understand it. Just do the lesson.
Which is also contrary to the way we function in our brain. We always want to know why.
Yeah. Well, we are over time, but thank you all so much for being here tonight. And we go right into a chanting session. So Goldie, if you're welcome to stay, or we have those that leave us, like our Sharon.
Bye.
I have never chanted.
Well, you're welcome to stay. If
I have never chanted.
Observe or
Okay,
awesome.
I'll chant if I can.
All right. Well, I'm to turn this off on the live stream.
We lead you gently, and we do that all together as a family.
Yes, we do. So I thank everybody that came in virtually. I'm going to turn it off on the group that we have going, which is Lessons in Miracles, Goldie, if you want to join us there on Facebook. So Karen, if you would, go ahead and explain the first chant that we do.
Okay, so our first chant is Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. And this is where we do this chant 3 times slow, and then we'll do 108 times all together. Beautiful Auntie Jean will let us know when we get to that magic number. And then beautiful Teri Angel will lead us in a short meditation on freedom, and then we'll go into our second chant. So we declare that all obstacles be removed. Om Gam Ganapataye Ganapataye Namaha. We declare that all barriers, conflicts, and violence be removed. Om Ganapataye Namaha. We declare that all illusions and illness be removed. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam 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 Ganapataye Namaha.
Namaha. Namaha. Ganapataye Namaha. Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Gam
Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Gam
Om
Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Gam 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 Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye
Pataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Namaha. Namaha.
Let's take a breath into our heart center. Ooh, this chant was to release anything that's holding us back, any obstacle, any barrier, and those are in our minds. So as we release, our spirit becomes free and we're able to move forward into that higher plane where we know that there are miracles, because once we release anything other than love, that's all we feel is the love, and that is freeing to us. So we're going to stay on that high vibration in that higher plane, and we're going to go into our next chant, which is known as the miracle chant. And our miracle Marlene has joined in with us. Good evening, Marlene. So glad you're here in Canada. And the chant is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. So Karen, please talk about that one and I'll type the words in.
Okay, so this is a chant so that it helps us to all be able to see our true, original, innocent self. So this is a chant that we do together to bring in the miracles and to let us be accepting and aligning and allowing the beauty of all beings to shine as their true, original, innocent self. So we'll do that 3 times slow, and then we'll do our 108 count all together as our beautiful family. Beautiful Auntie Jean will let us know when we get to that magic number. And then beautiful Teri Angel will lead us in the next part of our session. So we declare that all are accepting, aligning, allowing, and awake. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. We declare that all are happy and healthy. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. We declare that all live in peace and harmony and are open and ready to receive miracles. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. 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 Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. 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 Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Let's take that breath back into the heart again. Focus now on love. Love is the only thing that's real. So as we go into our heart and we feel that beautiful energy, we are going to chant Om 3 times, giving honor and glory to our Creator. And then we'll stay in our hearts to connect the brain and the heart in love. And then we'll give that love away to the world. It's our mission every night. So take a deep breath in, hold the love in your heart, and let's begin the chanting of Om. Om. Now you're invited to take a big, big breath into your lungs, into your heart. Hold that energy of love and release it out to the world. Just send it where it needs to go, wherever there may be darkness, wherever there may be hatred, any of the low vibration energy that shows up in our world. Let's just shine a light on it of love. Love heals. This is what Kuan Yin teaches us, and this is what God teaches us, that the only thing that's real is love. Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. It's our prayer every day that there be more peace in our world. Om, Shanti. Oh, thank you, everyone who was here tonight for the chanting. Every night we make a declaration about there being peace on earth. And Auntie Jean, would you lead us in this tonight?
Love to. Every night we make this declaration that there is peace on earth, because there is. And every day more and more comes in. And we make this declaration because this peace begins inside of us. And we are going to do this on the count of 3. Please join us so we can raise that love vibration all over the earth. 3, 2,
2, 1.
We declare
There is
that there is peace on earth.
we
We
declare
declare that peace begins inside of us.
Inside us with us.
so
So
it
it
is
always.
ever and ever.
Forever.
Forever. Amen.
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 And be kind.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this for 965 days now. And we are a group known as
The peace.
Peace for peace.
The Peace for Peace.
Such a beautiful group, aren't we?
Yes, I'm a pea.
You're a pea?
And you're
I'm a
You
pea too.
be.
Karen's a pea. And Chris is a pea. And Charlie is a big pea. And
Yeah.
all of you out there, Marlene and everyone, you're peas too. And there's many more peas in the world.
Yeah.
And those of you who are not peas, wouldn't you like to be a pea too?
P, yes.
And we're missing our Gracie P.
Our
I
Gracie
know.
P is
Hi,
missing, and
Gracie.
we love you so much, Gracie.
my
for watching
Gracie.
this.
Love you, Gracie. We're seeing you in perfect health.
Mm.
Certainly are in warm
And
doing
warm.
well. Yeah.
Cozy in a blankie.
Yes. Okay. Well, we thank you everyone for joining in. Come back tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. And we wish you a good day or night, wherever you may be. Stay in your hearts, stay warm, and stay blessed. And we leave you with
Namaste.
bye, everyone.
Bye.
Tomorrow.
Bye.
See you.